So looking forward, I know you don't want to go out too far, but let's say within the next 3 years, what would you say would be the major trends that companies should focus on?
I think the major trends that companies should focus on the next 3 to 5 years is understanding that the path to growth is not getting new audiences to consume traditional forms, but to really co-create and collaborate with those audiences to understand what it is that they enjoy and how they want to enjoy it. And a great example of this, and we didn't work on this, was Jimmy Fallon's show, in that they took essentially a format, back to the format question, they took a format that had not changed since its inception. So you're talking 50, 60 years of a desk and a host. And they took, first of all, they took his weaknesses and made them strengths. But what they also did is created a show that cannot exist without social media. If you take the social media element out of that show does not exist. Whereas pretty much 90% of television is still performing in its same way with a social media component added on. So the social media is just a tool, right? The point is that viewers want to be part of what they're consuming. They're simultaneously evaluating and consuming their television. So they have a lot of opinions. They know what they like and what they don't like. And it is to a media company's advantage to bring them into the conversation, not just by having them respond to things, but bringing them into every step of the process. So we're going to see, I believe, some really adventurous, and they may be small, part of the smaller companies take bigger risks than the big companies. Maybe some small under the radar brand that's going to try some kind of new show. But to really put in that voice from the get-go and not as an afterthought.
How do you think connected TVs will change the paradigm?
Connected TVs, I think, are going to force this desire for consumers to collaborate even more, because again, they'll be multitasking when they're watching TV. They'll be able to do so many of the things that right now are difficult for them to do. It's going to give them more ownership of that content, more of a perception. They are part of this content. And again, the more that advertisers and programmers can feed that, fuel that, and be inspired by that, the more successful they'll be. Because otherwise people are going to find other ways to spend their time. They already have more things to do than they can conceivably ever humanly do. So people are going to have to work harder to get their attention. They're going to have to be louder in terms of more creative ideas, less traditional ideas, and they're going to have to be bolder.